In this presentation, we will set up a bank rule where we have one vendor that we want to break out to two different expense accounts. We have two different expense accounts that we're going to look for something within the information for the vendor that we can use to then break that information out to two different expense accounts. We saw a similar kind of transaction with regards to the deposit, where we had the deposit, one deposit that we could distinguish in some way, breaking out the transaction to do two different revenue accounts. We're going to do a similar kind of process here, breaking out an expense or decrease to the checking account to two different expense accounts. Here we go with Xero. Here we are on the Triple G company dashboard. We're going to start off by opening up our income statement. We're going to go to the accounting drop down. We're going to go on down to the income statement this time. Once that opens up, we're going to duplicate the tab. We're going to go back up top to do so, mousing over the tab, right clicking on it, and duplicating that tab. Going to change the date. I'm just going to change the beginning date this time. That's all we need to do on the income statement. Bringing that up to May 1st. May 1st, there's nothing after May, so that should be good for us. Then I'm going to go back to the first tab. We're going to go to the accounting drop down. We want to be picking up our bank accounts because we will, of course, be looking at those bank feeds in the checking account, of which we currently have 24. So we're going to select that 24 blue item down below for the bank feeds. I'm then going to hold down control, scroll up just a bit to pick us up to that 125. 125, that's where we like to be. Then I'm going to go down and now I'm going to jump over to our data file in Excel just to analyze what we're going to be working on now. So I'm looking for another outflow here. Here's what I want. These are the ones. These are the ones that we want to pick up. So these. So I'm going to right click and make those green. So you'll notice we have two different Primerica. Now this is the same company. We're going to assume Primerica is something that we invest in. So this is our company. We're going to assume that we have benefits for our employees that are both in Primerica. One's, let's say, the life insurance, and the other, let's say, is a 401k plan or something, just to break these out. So we'll say there are two kinds of benefits, but we want to break them out. We want this one to go to like a employee benefits life insurance account, let's say, and this one to go to an employee benefits account for a 401k or investment plan, retirement plan. So we want two different accounts. Now, once again, a lot of times when you have these electronic transfers from the bank feeds that are slightly different, even though it's the same company, they may give you that other information because the company might have like a different department in it or something like that, and that's somehow referred to within the bank feeds, which is great. So what you want to do is not like to restrict the bank feeds down to just the name, which would just be Primerica. It gives you nothing to then differentiate with, but give you that more information that you can then use as a rule to help you out with the rule. So obviously we can use this Primerica Life to differentiate between the Primerica down here, and that will allow us to make a bank rule to apply to two separate accounts. So let's check that out. We're going to go back over here and say, okay, let's look for one of these Primerica items. So here's a Primerica. So Primerica here, and let's make a rule. I'm going to go to the options, and then I'm just going to create a rule. It's going to be a nice, simple rule, nothing difficult. It's just that we have the one vendor that has some differentiating qualities that allows us to do so. So we got the money. I'm going to say that I just need any item to apply. I'm going to delete the first one as we've seen in the past. Description is what we're going to be relying on here. I don't need it really to equal the whole thing, but just contain. I need it to contain, and I need it to contain maybe that 01 or maybe all the way out to the ACH. I don't really need the rest of it. That would be it. Now, again, you want to set up and think about, do you want to set up another vendor, another contact for the two different Primericas? Last time when we did the deposit, we did so, but you don't have to. So let's show that a situation where you don't. I'd say, I just want it to be called Primerica, one vendor, even though these two things are happening with it. Primerica has it a. I messed it up and I added it twice, but it should be Primerica. So I'm going to say it's going to be Primerica either way, the same contact information, but it's going to be making two separate accounts that will be affected by them. So then once again, I'm going to go down here for the description. I'm going to say this is, let's call this Primerica Life. And then the account, I'm going to set up another account. I'll just make it an expense account. And let's put it in 6685, let's say 6685, 6685, 6685, 6685, that's not a 6685. And I'm going to say this is our benefits, and then I'm just going to say life insurance. And then I'm going to put up top, the account type is going to be an expense type of account. So it's an expense type of account, and it's going to be benefits, life insurance, we'll say. This is just an example that will just to show something that could be broken out. All right. So then I'm going to say save, and we have that. And then this is what we want there. This is just going to be applied to the checking account. That's fine. And then again, Primerica, the rule, I should have had an A down here. And then I'm going to say life. All right, Primerica life. And then I'm going to say save. And it should then apply this out. So then we'll go through and check off all the Primericas and see if it applies it out for us. So there it is. It's going to apply out the rule. So that looks good. So I'm going to say, yep, let's apply that out and keep on going down. Primerica life. Primerica life. Let's update. I'm going to update this because I don't see why it's not picking up this one. Actually, I see why it's not picking up that one. It's because I got the rule backwards, which is a great example for us to go in and note that we can adjust the rule. So I totally did that on purpose. So let's go in and adjust the rule. I'm going to go to the manage the account up top, and I want to go to the rules. So let's go to the bank rules. And so now if I want to modify a rule, we can go into here and say this one, I want to modify that rule. So I set it up incorrectly on purpose so that we can go back in here and modify it. Because this isn't going to be the life insurance. This is going to go to the other benefit. So I'm going to set this up description, Primerica here, and an existing, I'm going to call this Primerica, keep the same vendor. And this isn't going to be the life. This is going to be Primerica, and I'm going to call it, let's say 401k plan. And then I want it to go to another, I'm going to set up another account, 66, let's make it 86. So I'm going to say this isn't going to the life insurance. I'm going to add a new account. It's going to be 6686. And then the account type, also an expense account. So we're going to say this is going to be an expense type of account. And this is going to be benefits. And I'm going to say 401k. So we'll say that. All right, now we're going to say, okay, so you can see how it's going to be broken out between those two. And then down here, I'm going to label the rule or call the rule Primerica. But this is going to be 401k. All right, let's try that then. So then I'm going to save this rule. And then it should be reapplied down here. So then if I go back into our settings, it'll reapply at least to the ones that are still existing. So I'm going to go back down and check out the rules that are still there. I'm going to go back down and let's take a look at these. Next set. Scrolling down, we have a Primerica here. So now it's setting up the rule to the proper place. So this one is applying the 401k rule. So I'm going to say, okay. This one, 401k rule, I'm going to say, okay. And then Primerica Life is different. So we'll make a separate rule for this one. So I'm going to say, let's hit the drop down, make another rule for this one. And we're going to say, here's the first condition. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to say, any condition, any of these conditions below that are met, remove the first one. The second one, I'm going to say it doesn't have to equal it. It can contain. And then all I need is the Primerica Life. So that's what I need there. Now I'm going to keep the vendor the same, which is simply Primerica, which we already have set up. So you notice you don't need a separate vendor, right? I could set up a separate vendor for them, but it's not required. And then I'm going to say the description is going to be Primerica Life. The account we already set up before. So it should be Life, Benefits Life. And then there we have it, 100%. This is fine, out of the checking account. And the rule is going to be Primerica Life. And so that's what we'll have. And I'll say save that. And then it should apply that rule out. And we have the same, again, same vendor go into basically two different accounts because we're able to differentiate between them based on the added detail that the bank feed's giving us for the description. So this one's applying to Primerica Life. That's good. And this one's applying out the Primerica for the 401k. So that's good. And this one's, and that's it. So let's go back and see if we missed any on the first one, on the first page over here. One more time. Running through the first page one more time. See if we have any Primericas that we can apply out. So this one, Primerica Life, good. And I think that should be it. So then let's go up to the income statement. And if I update this, we'll see these two accounts. And like this might not be the best example between these two, but note how we can break them out. So obviously it's breaking these out, these bank feeds out, same vendor, two different accounts. If you wanted to group this together, notice you could put these two accounts together under benefits and then have more detail if you want by breaking them out by using the edit layout tab and put them into a group if you so choose as well. But anyways, that's how you can split them out. Same vendor, two different accounts because of more description within the bank feeds. That's it for now. Let's get out of here.